Yo, what up guys? Rich from Greenway's Car Care Products. I wanted to do a video today about knowing your limitations, knowing what you're getting into when you open a detailing business. The reason I'm doing this video is one of my good buddies of mine, he owns a very successful, I believe, 7-figure business that has systems and processes in place that it allows it to run itself, and he decided to open a auto detailing business. And credit to him, because he didn't really have to do it. It's something he wanted to do. It's a passion of his, so he opened the business up. And the other week, I should say, he called me, and it seemed like he was having a bad week. He got car after car that he did not believe he was able to meet the customer expectations and undercharge on the vehicles. And what I'm here to say is, when you first get involved in the auto detailing business, you can go to these seminars or schools, whatever you want to label them as, for a couple of days and watch YouTube videos and do all these things and learn a lot. It's great educational content out there. But until you actually get hands-on with it, it's something completely different. When you're running into problem vehicles, such as dark color vehicles, I believe blacks are difficult for many new detailers to correct, especially if they're older. Older vehicles, clear coat problems, all these different things you're going to run into, and you might not know how to actually tackle them. And what I'm suggesting is, I'm not suggesting that you walk away from vehicles, because it's good to challenge yourself, but I think you should gain some experience, especially if you start the business, and understand that some of these vehicles that you get involved in, or that people bring you to, they don't realize that, hey, you just started this business and you haven't done many cars before, and they just think, hey, I'm dealing with a seasoned professional. And what I'm suggesting is that you make sure, if you're not comfortable with your skill set, to just walk away from the job. You're too busy to do the job, or you just feel uncomfortable to do the job, whatever it might be. Because with Google reviews these days, people are sometimes harsh. Sometimes they're very accurate, other times they're harsh, where they're going to get upset no matter what you try to do to make them happy. They're going to get upset. So what I'm suggesting is that if you get a vehicle, for instance, here's a prime example. It was a black Ford pickup truck. I believe it was a Raptor truck. And it came in, and it was heavily marred, swirled, scratched, whatever you want to, again, call it. Had defects in the clear coat, okay? And a lot of new detailers, they're used to using like these long throw, forced rotational type of buffing machines. Back in the day, we didn't have those. We had the Porter cable dual action polisher, and we had a rotary. And anyone who knows anything about a rotary, in my opinion, the rotary is the king in terms of perfecting defects in a vehicle. Just because the amount of clear you can start to heat up in a good way or a negative way, but you could really get a really good finish. I'm not saying you can't get a good finish with these other machines, but I still feel like the rotary takes the win in terms of speed and the amount of swirl mark removal, scratch removal, mar removal, whatever you want to call it, from the finish itself. So he had the vehicle come in, and he just really wasn't happy with the results. He was thinking that, hey, I'm going to get these marks out of this vehicle and put a sealant on it or whatever, and he couldn't do it. Again, and I believe that's from lack of experience. Just because you have all the tools, you watch all the videos, do all these things, doesn't necessarily mean you're good. In this industry, I really feel like that the person who is the true professional, or kind of mastered the art of the detailing industry, is the person who could correct these hard exterior vehicles, exteriors, clear coat surfaces, painted surfaces. And the reason I say that is because, in my opinion, interiors are more about being precise, getting in all the nooks and crannies, not missing different spots. But in my opinion, some of the stuff is going to not come out no matter what products you use. Any competitor's product, whatever, some of the stains, etc., just cannot be removed. On the exterior, on the other hand, if you have good clear on the vehicle still, I believe that that's kind of where it shines, because it's so difficult to understand the speed of the machine, if you're putting pressure on the machine or not, the product, the pad combination, the steps in between, wiping down the panels, all these different things. It's very sometimes overwhelming. And you're jumping from pad to polish and compound and pad to try to figure out how to get these defects out. At least for me, 20 years ago, that was the situation I was in. And as I gotten seasoned and made a lot of mistakes, I was able to kind of look at a vehicle and understand, okay, this vehicle has this type of clear coat on it and it's going to react in this type of manner. This is my combination I'm going to do for the sides of the vehicle, and the combination I'm going to do for the hood and say trunk area is going to be a little bit different. That was from experience, trial and error, embarrassing myself, all these different things, whatever you want to call it. There's no replacement for experience. So I think instead of just kind of rambling on and talking more and more about this topic, what I'm getting at is, in my opinion, if you first open your business up and you don't have years and years of experience of working at a detailing center or someplace that actually did professional detailing, I don't think most dealerships, I wouldn't consider that experience, because a lot of them don't correct. They don't provide you with the proper equipment you need, at least in this area. If you haven't worked at a place that just deals with auto detailing itself and don't have the experience, and you just watch some videos or attended a 2-day seminar, I would kind of walk away from some of these vehicles until you get more and more comfortable within your business of what, can you meet the customer's expectations? Again, I'm saying always to challenge yourself and just not walk away from every little challenge. But if someone came to you, like the other day, like my buddy had, and it's a big black vehicle that's heavily defected or has defects on it, and you're kind of unsure, I would personally not do that vehicle because you're not ready. Again, everyone's level is different. You could be in the business for a year and really excel. So I don't think this is a cookie cutter type of statement where it applies to everyone. But most detailers I've seen take time to get good. And I think you get good through the baby steps. You get a vehicle and it's kind of semi messed up and you correct it. Another vehicle, it has some little defects here and there, you correct it, and you get more comfortable. You understand the limitations of the machines. You understand how to pick the right combination of the pad and product. You understand the lighting conditions. You understand the steps between each panel as you're removing the product and going to another product. You understand these things through hands-on experience. And I'm not new to business. I've had several businesses, and every business is kind of applied to. And not every business this kind of applied to. It applied to businesses where, I learned the business or did some training for a few weeks. And then once I got out there in the field, I was like, oh, this is new. What do I do? Oh, I never seen this before. This wasn't in the training. So I learned. And some of them I failed on. I was embarrassed. But that comes with business. But also, I believe, and not trying to talk myself up here, I have the gift of gab. I think customers like me, in terms of I could relate to customers very well. And I don't know if some people would see this as a positive or negative, but I do have a way of understanding a customer, listening to a customer, and being upfront and honest with the customer, and not afraid to for work that's out of my realm. And 20 years ago, I don't think I would do that. Oh, I could do it. Now, with one of the other companies I owned, if it's out of my scope of practice, I'm not scared to walk away and refer it to another company, because either it's not within the scope or it's something I'm just not comfortable with yet. And again, the other business has been successfully being ran, and I just think that even myself, as I learn more, then I become more and more comfortable taking those jobs. So I'm even taking the baby steps, but I realize in my head this could be a disaster. This could make an unhappy customer. This could give me a bad review. This could cause more damage. So instead of acting like I know it all, hey, this is out of my scope. I'm not comfortable doing this. Call this company up. Other people might say, well, then you're just giving business away, this and that. That's true, but you're not ready. Plain and simple. I'm not saying don't ever challenge yourself and try these things, but know your limitations. Know what the customer's looking for. Are they looking for perfection to put a ceramic coating on, or are they just looking for something to remove some of the marks and get it ready for the winter season? Again, listen to the customer. Know your know their expectations. Understand their expectations, I should say, and know your limitations. So if you guys have any, questions, again, I probably went around about and repeated myself a couple times in regards to trying to nail this topic in, but I think this would save you a lot of headaches of understanding where I'm coming from, especially for starting a business, because I think sometimes you'll get beat down and almost want to second guess yourself. Hey, was this the right move, etc., because you had a rough week. Like my buddy had a rough week. It was a few vehicles that happened to him, just not one. And then I think it burns your ego a little bit. You think, because hey, I have every piece of equipment that money can buy, I can handle anything. That's not true. Experience, hands-on experience, in my opinion, cannot be replaced by anything. Time into the paint, hours and hundreds of hours and tens of thousands of hours of working on the paint cannot be replaced by the best equipment money can buy. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Greenways Car Care Products, it's greenwayscc.com. Make sure you follow us on all the different platforms, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Greenways CC. And if you have any direct questions, just leave them below, and I will make sure they answer for you. Again, guys, this is Rich, Greenways Car Care Products. I hope you have a great week. Thank you.